Hi to everyone at Dunvant. It's me again. My name is Nathan, and I work for the organisation called UCCF. And the reason I tell you that straight off the bat is that recently, being in a full-time paid ministry, I've been reflecting on what it really means to follow Jesus and to be his disciple. And this has really reinvigorated me in my passion for what I do, and in, I hope, the passion that you would have as a believer in Christ to continue to run the race with perseverance. So I just wanted to take us to Luke chapter 6, this wonderful little passage where Luke is, he's a doctor, he says things straight and as they are. And he talks just through Jesus' life, step by step, what Jesus is doing. And this is one in which verse 12 to 16 of chapter 6, where Jesus is picking his disciples. Now, to take a bit of artistic license here, imagine the 72, the Gospels talk about the 72, those who are listening in on what Jesus is saying. And Jesus looks at the 72 and he starts calling out 12 names. What would be your reaction to, being picked by Jesus in that moment? Maybe there would be a sense of pride. Maybe you would be thinking, oh, wow, I've been picked by Jesus. I hope everyone is looking. Or maybe you would just be so overawed that you have been asked to be part of his team that with wide-eyed optimism, you run towards him and you say, yeah, I'm going to follow you. Well, I think that was the case for many of these disciples. Mark's gospel says that they leave their nets. Some of these disciples of fishermen, they leave their nets. Matthew at the tax collector's booth just leaves his tax collector's life and job in pursuit of who Jesus is. The zealots among the disciples, the revolutionaries, leave what they're doing to follow Jesus. Did they know the consequences of following Jesus? Did they know that he would go to death on a cross? I don't think so. Did they know that they themselves, church history would say, 9 or 10 of them would have their lives taken for their faith? I don't think they did. So what was it that made them follow Jesus? And what was it that in those 3 years was so captivating that means that the hope of the gospel is now in us 2,000 years later? Well, they were just so captivated with their first love, Jesus. They were so captivated by what he said, what he did, how he interacted with people, how he interacted with them. So I want to encourage you today, just as Jesus bestowed on these guys that they would be apostles, which means sent ones, people on mission, to bring the hope of the world, the hope of the gospel, to the people around them. I want to encourage you today to think, am I a wide-eyed optimist still? There was one point in my life where Jesus said, come to me, and I responded to that call. And my question for myself and for you is are we still as wide-eyed and optimistic as we were that day? These disciples hear Jesus say, follow me, and they ran after him and they gave their life for it. What am I willing to do today? What are you willing to do today for your first love, Jesus?